When you think of millionaires, you probably imagine luxury cars, designer watches, big mansions, and fancy vacations on private islands. That's what most movies, TV shows, and social media influencers want us to believe. The image of a millionaire is usually someone who spends without thinking and lives a flashy lifestyle. But the truth is completely different. In reality, most millionaires don't live like that at all. They aren't throwing money around or showing off their wealth. Instead, the average millionaire lives quietly, spends carefully, and focuses more on financial freedom than on impressing others. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how real millionaires actually spend their money and what we can learn from their habits. The surprising thing is that most millionaires are not born into rich families. Studies like the Millionaire Next Door show that the majority of millionaires are self-made. They built their wealth slowly over time by saving, investing, and making smart money choices. Many of them live in regular neighborhoods, not in huge gated communities. They drive ordinary cars like Toyotas or Hondas instead of luxury sports cars. They eat at normal restaurants, not five-star hotels. You might even walk past a millionaire in a grocery store and never realize it. They don't look rich because they don't need to. Their goal isn't to look wealthy, it's to be wealthy. And that's a huge difference in mindset. So if they aren't spending all their money on luxury items, where does it actually go? The answer begins with how millionaires think about money. For most people, money is something to spend the moment they get it. But for millionaires, money is a tool. It's not about price tags or brands, it's about value. Millionaires think long-term. They don't buy something unless it gives them value, either by saving time, improving quality of life, or helping them make more money in the future. They focus on financial independence, the point where their investments earn enough that they no longer have to work for money. And this mindset shapes every decision they make. They understand delayed gratification, the idea of giving up small pleasures today for bigger rewards tomorrow. That's why they save and invest instead of spending everything they earn. One of the biggest parts of a millionaire's financial life isn't fancy spending at all. It's taxes and investments. Taxes can take up a huge portion of a high income, so millionaires plan carefully. They often work with accountants to use legal strategies that minimize taxes through retirement accounts, donations, or business deductions. But what really separates them from others is how much they invest. The average millionaire invests around 20% to 40% of their income every year. They put money into stocks, index funds, real estate, or their own businesses. They focus on building assets that grow over time instead of wasting money on things that lose value. And even after investing so much, they still live below their means. This balance between investing for the future and living comfortably in the present is the secret behind their long-term success. Now let's look at how millionaires actually spend on their daily lifestyle. You might think they live in huge mansions, but most live in comfortable, modest homes. They care more about safety and practicality than showing off. They drive reliable cars that last a long time instead of buying new ones every few years. When it comes to food and entertainment, they do enjoy eating out and traveling, but they do it with intention. They plan trips ahead of time, use points or rewards, and avoid unnecessary waste. The goal isn't to be cheap, it's to be smart. They understand that every dollar they save and invest brings them closer to freedom. They're not denying themselves comfort, they're choosing balance. There's a rule that most millionaires follow. It's called value over vanity. They spend money where it truly matters. Instead of buying expensive clothes to impress others, they might spend on things that improve their lives, like education, health, or convenience. Many are willing to pay for tools or services that save time because they value their time more than money. They also invest in their well-being. Gym memberships, good food, therapy, or personal growth. Millionaires know that success depends on their mindset and energy, so they invest in both. This habit of choosing value over vanity keeps them grounded and focused on long-term growth instead of short-term pleasure. Another interesting thing about how millionaires spend their money is how much they dedicate to learning and giving. Education doesn't stop when they finish school. Millionaires read books, take online courses, attend seminars, or hire coaches. They see learning as an investment that always pays off, and it's not just about making more money, it's about becoming better decision makers. At the same time, they also give back. Many donate to charities, support local causes, or help friends and family. Giving brings them joy and purpose. It reminds them that money is not just for comfort, but also for contribution. Generosity creates a sense of fulfillment that no luxury purchase can match. But what's even more interesting is how disciplined they are about what they don't spend on. Millionaires are experts at avoiding unnecessary spending. They don't upgrade their lifestyle every time their income increases. This is called avoiding lifestyle inflation. They don't chase the latest gadgets, cars, or designer brands just because they can afford them. They use credit cards strategically and pay them off in full. They hate paying interest and avoid debt unless it helps them grow wealth, like a business loan or property investment. They also understand opportunity cost. The idea that spending money on one thing means missing out on another opportunity. That's why they say no more often than they say yes. This discipline is what separates people who build wealth from those who only look rich. Millionaires aren't controlled by money, they control it. The psychology behind their spending is deeply connected to security and freedom. Most millionaires don't seek happiness through material things. They find satisfaction in peace of mind, stability, and the ability to make choices without stress. They don't have to worry about emergencies or losing their jobs because they've built a strong safety net. Studies show that happiness doesn't increase much after a certain income level, around the point where basic needs and comfort are covered. So millionaires focus on purpose and personal growth instead of endless consumption. They're not chasing more stuff, they're chasing a better life. Here's what we can learn from all of this. Having money is not just about what you earn, but about how you manage what you already have. Millionaires teach us that living below your means is not about being cheap. It's about being free. Saving and investing early creates opportunities that others can't even see. Spending on growth, learning, and relationships brings far more satisfaction than buying status symbols. And giving back adds meaning to success. You don't need to be rich to start thinking like a millionaire. You just need to start making intentional financial choices. To spend with purpose, save with discipline, and invest with vision. Because the habits that make someone a millionaire aren't built after they get rich. They're built long before that. So the next time you see someone who looks average but lives peacefully, remember, they might quietly be a millionaire. They don't need to prove anything to anyone. They've learned that true wealth isn't about luxury, it's about freedom, peace of mind, and having control over your time. If you start following the same principles, living below your means, investing regularly, and spending intentionally, you might find yourself walking the same path too. Financial freedom doesn't come from luck, it comes from habits. And the best part? Anyone can start building those habits today.